Your eyes might have seen the most spectacular construction projects in the world, but have you ever visualized demolitions? Such a mesmerizing event to anticipate. I mean, doesn't it just blow your mind why a billion-dollar megaproject needs to be demolished? Whether it's an old historical monument to visit or any worth-visiting gallery, whenever the infrastructure is hazardous to the surrounding occupants, demolishing the architecture is often a matter of concern. Weak, basic foundations and non-durable materials pose challenges to the building's blueprint, and renovations are not always the solution. To get the positive impact of occupied space, buildings that are no longer fruitful are usually demolished. In this video, your eyes are going to witness the demolishing of giant and extremely spectacular buildings and some of the largest takedowns from across the world. Glad to have you back with another Gravitate. Stay glued to this video until the end if you want your eyes to capture some spellbinding demolitions in the world. Before we dig into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell icon so you can stay tuned. Number 1. Ocean Tower, the Leaning Tower of South Padre. The first tall skyscraper on our list is Ocean Tower, located beside the islands of SpaceX's new Starship, Tesla. Before being demolished, this skyscraper was 150 meters high, hosting gyms, theaters, swimming pools, and even spa rooms and malls for people to have their residencies to cherish. Just 2 years after its construction, the main pillars supporting the skyscraper started to have cracks in them. Architects at that time took an overview, and the decision to remodel was put to its end because the damage to the building was already done, and the fragile infrastructure had fissures and clefts 16 inches deep. Due to these cracks and shaping knockouts, the building was tagged with the so-called Leaning Tower of South Padre. In a nutshell, the surrounding area occupied by residents of the town was freed in 2009, and this tall skyscraper was demolished because of uneconomical reconstruction. Number 2. Afe Tower, Europe's tallest skyscraper to ever be demolished. Located at Goethe University, Germany, this tower received public attention in 2014 when the idea to demolish the tower was announced in the news media. The explosion of this tower was decided because the number of violations increased more than the number of fingers you can count. Now, at first, the plan was to demolish this building floor by floor. Later on, a rapid demolition was then decided because of these two lengthy demolitions by going floor by floor. Anyhow, in 2014, this extremely tall tower got blown up by 2 bombs, one on the 5th and then the other on the 17th floor. And then this twin tower fell one-sided on the north and then the other way on the south floor. At that time, more than 30,000 people went to have a look at this eye-capturing monument live. Later on, 140 West, a hotel, came to life with residential apartments and luxurious hotel rooms to facilitate tourism. Number 3. Landmark Tower Demolition, the world's largest digital clock tower. Once again, in Tesla, a 116-meter-high skyscraper was thought to be demolished as there was an end to the services of this tall skyscraper after 30 years, since it was originally opened to the public in 1957. This tower has been a host to the footprints coming its way, and has been luxurious since it was all set for the public community. One obvious reason for its demolition was a tornado that hit the building in 2000, with thunderstorms hitting the building from the base to the ground levels. After 2000, there were a lot of cracks and fractures in the building's infrastructure that led to the decision to demolish the building, the tallest tower in Fort West. At first, in 2006, 15 blocks of these skyscrapers were evacuated by the Midwest Wrecking Company, and the building all came down within a minute or two. A parking garage was then set to be rebuilt in the vacant space. Number 4. Gustav Nepper Power Plant, Germany's biggest bang of the year. At 210 meters in height, Gustav Nepper's power plant station was set to meet its end in 2005 when this power station was logged off. Thousands of residents came to watch the demolition. Now, at first 69 meters high, the boiling house was set to fire and blown. Later on, the structure fell forward onto the ground. The audience there claimed that the blast was heard later because of dust and clay producing echo sounds. For exact economic purposes, around about 2,800 metric tons of steel was unbothered. Later on, the cooling tower, with a height of 128 meters, met its fate. After this, the work was done by transmitters, and the power plant met its unfortunate fate. Number 5. Meena Plaza. For ages, the Emirates has been the place of the world's largest and most luxurious structures, and also sites of tourist attraction. Have you ever thought about the United Arab Emirates having useless or demolished projects? Well, if not, then let me add that even the Emirates has unused and ruthless buildings along the lines of skeletons. This video will uncover the first tall skyscraper in the UAE to be demolished. With the 4 towers soaring into the sky at a height of 165 meters, 3 were demolished first. Then, 10 seconds later, 4 of them went together, turning into rubble as if they had never been there in the first place. Meena Tower in Abu Dhabi was never completed first because of a dispute, and then it was demolished because of the financial restrictions and uneconomic budgets not enough to continue its progress. To ensure the safest explosion of the tower, plastic explosions of 13,000 pounds were set to bury Meena Plaza in Abu Dhabi. The government has big plans for the architectural In Xi'AN to be in place soon. Number 6. Hudson's Department Store, the wildest demolition ever. 134 meters high, the department store was all set to serve the public, with office places and stores in Detroit, Michigan. At the time, it was the world's largest retail store, and it had been functioning for more than 80 years. Now, is your mind trying to guess why this was the world's wildest demolition ever? Well, shockingly, during the demolition of Hudson's Department Store, the nearby retail store windows exploded as well, even though more than 20,000 people witnessed the demolition. Since then, more than a 300-meter-high skyscraper has been working to operate in the area to function for the residents. Number 7. Building in Xi'AN City, Golden Flower Building. Once again, this was the tallest skyscraper in the nation to be demolished at that time. In China's city of Xi'AN, after the construction of this skyscraper, the building wasn't used by the government for decades, and later on they decided to demolish it. Since the remodeling of this infrastructure was too expensive for the nation, it was buried underground through 13-foot-deep excavations and channels around its framework. This building then crashed to the ground with 1.4 tons of dynamite, with the safest demolition possible. Later on, at this vacant site, the construction of an emerging commercial complex began when the area got cleared of dust and debris from the demolition. And finally, number 8, Brayton Point Power Station, world record demolishing giant. Brayton Point Power Station is the world record holder for being the first cool power plant station to be demolished. This power plant station stopped functioning after serving from the 1960s until 2017 in Massachusetts. For not being able to operate, the power plant station was set to be demolished afterwards. 2 of the power plants tumbled to the ground, each one 152 meters in height. The crowd from all over New England was curious to witness this demolition and went to record it live. After 2006, the remaining power plants continued to be demolished side by side. Lastly, days after the demolition, recyclable materials and scrap metals got a series of fireworks to make spectators crazy. Now, let us know in the comments section which one was your favorite demolishing event. Moreover, if you know of any other spectacular demolishing events, do mention it in the comments section so that we can know about that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.